Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast. We have an amazing guest for you today. She's a creative problem solver, a relentless optimist, a mortgage industry nerd, and now author of Rethink Everything You Know About Networking, and an expert at getting shit done. Please help me welcome Liz Short. Liz, welcome to the show.
Michael, thank you so much for having me. I feel like this has been a very long time coming, and I'm excited to be here with you today.
It certainly has been a long time coming. You and I have been connected on LinkedIn for years. We finally met in person last year at the New Jersey Mortgage Bankers Conference. You were presenting on social media, did a fantastic job there. And then we got to see each other again at the Mortgage Boot Camp in Cincinnati last year.
That's right. Such an interesting conference. So it was great. It was great to spend some time with you there and for the whole year. It's great to see you at a conference, Michael.
Absolutely. So there is a ton going on. Let's start with the book. It's now been out for a little while. Talk to me kind of what was the impetus to doing the book, and give me a couple of the tips that you love to share that you think are most impactful for helping people better network.
I love that. I really almost 4 years ago, when I started my business going out on my own, had to change the way that I networked, right? And so I had to completely rework my relationship to LinkedIn, my relationship to conferences, and how I really went out and met people. And Lindsay Meyer, my co-author on the book, is one of the folks that I met on my journey and is, gosh, the best connector that I've really ever met, in my opinion. She had been talking about doing this book and approached me with the opportunity to join her as a co-author. And I knew if Lindsay was going to be a part of it, it was something that I had to do. And so we had the opportunity to join 28 folks, including us together, to give tips and tricks about networking. And it's about networking really across the board, right? Not just about mortgage or finance, but there's things in there that are applicable to people moving to a new city, going to college, starting a new job, right? There's so many opportunities that we have to network. A few of the tips, gosh, how long do we have? No, I'm kidding. I think really kind of the biggest aha moment for me as someone who, I guess, officially just started networking for my job, right, a few years ago, is that no one really feels comfortable or natural going out there and doing it, right? Everybody feels a little bit awkward. Everybody kind of, has their own way of approaching it. And so I think just kind of understanding when you walk into a room or when you're reaching out to people, 9 times out of 10, they're uncomfortable and, are coming from it at the same place as you, right? And so don't be scared. Just go out there and meet people. And the second thing, and I think this is why I found so much success in networking, is it's really just about building relationships and friendships, right? It's about finding people that you enjoy spending time with, that you think are awesome people, connecting with them, giving to them, and then seeing what unfolds, right? It's not this transactional, who are you? What's your role? Can I sell something to you? Let's move on, right? Successful networking is about building a group of folks that lift you up, and speak your name in a room when you're not there. And I've found so many great people over the years that continue to do that for me. And so I just think everyone really needs to figure out how they can go out there and build a stronger network for themselves, personally and professionally, because we all need a team of strong people around us.
I couldn't agree more. And you brought up so many good points. I love how you talk about you've got to add value to others. This isn't a transaction.
Yep.
And you've seen it. I've seen it so many times where people are just focused on the transaction. You walk into a trade show, you walk by a booth, they almost tackle you. They want to know your position. They're staring at your name tag.
Yep.
They don't care anything about me at all. All they want to know is, can I mark you down as a lead, and are you a potential buyer?
Yep.
Total disaster. Do you want to talk to those people?
No.
I don't either.
And they don't want to talk to you either. Let's face it. I mean, it's just checking a box, and nobody's having a good time in that situation.
Exactly. So One of the things that you do is you empower executive teams to surpass organizational goals. That's really, as you classify it, as your forte. Talk to me about that and how do you approach that?
Ooh, I love it. Well, I think, I've over my career had an opportunity to be inside a lot of different organizations, either working directly with them, or for them. And what I found a lot of times is that executives and leaders have a lot of great ideas. I do. I'm sure you do as well too. And really the problem that I see in organizations kind of leaking money is that they are not good at implementation or adoption of those great ideas, right? And so, Short Solutions is a company that I founded almost 4 years ago with my business partner. And we like to say that we help executives and organizations optimize the things that they've already chosen to do to grow revenue, right? And so, whether it's signing a software contract at a convention, because you really like the person, but you're not really sure what it's going to do for you, but you know someone down the street has it. Or you know that this is great software and it's live and no one within your organization is using it. There's a root cause for those problems. It's probably you leaders and organizations, but the good news is that it's very easy to fix them. And so being able to not only identify those problems and solve them, but help train up the folks within the organization so they're not making the same mistakes next time is what we like to do, and help these organizations do. It's really hard in today's world with all the technology we have, with everything that's changing. And so sometimes it's really good to get someone to come in from the outside to help kind of figure out what needs to be done, make sure everybody's on the right path and set everybody up for success.
Well, and I love how you mentioned bringing in somebody from the outside because I think, for one, it lends a different perspective. There's not that pride of authorship. Well, I'm the one who pushed to get this solution. And so they're very defensive
Yep.
about it. You come in from a neutral perspective, just saying, we want to get much better user adoption. If you're going to ever receive an ROI from this
Yep.
software solution, everyone's got to be using it. And
Absolutely.
so that fresh perspective, and I think the other thing that people don't realize, whether you classify yourself as a consultant or fractional like myself or anything, because we've worked with so many different companies, we bring best practices.
Yep.
We bring solutions to the table that you don't have to just hope they appear internally. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, it's very hard. And let's talk about mortgage specifically, right? We are an industry that historically has survived on institutional knowledge passed tribally down from generation to generation, right? You sit next to someone, you train, you learn what they do, you pull out your paper checklist, right? You check those things off. That's just not the way that we can act anymore, right? I truly believe for, let's again talk about mortgage and finance specifically, a company to be successful 10 years from now, they have to be a technology company that does mortgages, right? That looks a lot different than it did when you and I started in mortgage back in the day. And so how do you get your organization to grow with new knowledge when they are stuck in the knowledge that they've had, right? And the best organizations are going to have folks that have been with them for 10, 20, 30 years because they're a great organization to work for and they keep their staff, right? In order to really give yourself and your team a leg up, being able to understand industry practices, being able to really get someone who has seen what's out there to come in can help really kind of jumpstart the team, right? And get not only those ideas to come in, because it's not repeating what somebody else is doing,
Right.
but get their juices flowing about what opportunities are out there and how they can bring those into their business to help them evolve and grow. Um,
So
I
true.
always say it's not a cookie cutter approach, right? Like
Right? Every
mortgage,
organization is different. You're going to bring in a knowledge base and some best practices, but then you have to apply it to that organization.
Absolutely. And I think the other really secret sauce is you have to have change management and an understanding of people's psychology in order to get them to move the ball forward. So I love the phrase change is hard, even if it's change we want. I very much resonate with that sentiment. And I think in order to get folks within these organizations who do have the thought of this is the way we've always done, who's coming in from the outside and telling us what to do. Technology is scary. Is it going to take away my job? You have to come in with a lens of people focused change, or else you're not going to see that success. And so, again, coming in from the outside, I'm able to bring that lens in a different way from my work across different organizations and just the experience that I've had myself as well, too.
Listen, I think that's a perfect lead in. Let's talk AI, right?
Ooh,
So as AI is rolling out within these organizations, or lenders know they have to do something in AI,
yep.
talk to me about your processes, your change management. What are some of the things you're running into as lenders are implementing, not
Sure.
implementing, as it deals with AI, and where are we going to go from here?
Oh my goodness, Michael, AI. Well, I honestly feel like the problems that we see with organizations and implementing this technology is similar to a lot of different technology implementations, right? First and foremost, you have to understand what your vision is and where you're trying to go. Like you said, every organization is different. It has different needs, it has different structures, it has different clients, customers, employees. So, where are you trying to build to, right? Second most important thing, okay, you know where you're going. Now, what problem are we trying to solve with that
Right.
technology, right? And so, why are you bringing in AI? Because you have to? Sure, yes. Again, we need to evolve with the times, but we have to get more granular than that and really dig into one use case at a time, right? We cannot solve the entire world at once with bringing in the technology. And then third, and this is the not fun part, right? We have to have our own house in order. So if you don't have your data categorized and readable, if you don't understand what your processes are and how things flow, and you don't have that documented somewhere but in someone's head that they tell someone else, you're not going to be able to successfully implement AI in the way that you think or in the way that you see your competitor down the street use it. And so we got to go quickly. I do agree with that, but you have to go quickly in a smart and strategic way and understanding that, this is a run, not walk, or this is a walk, not run scenario. And making sure that we have the foundation necessary is the most important thing moving forward. And, in the real world, what does that mean from what I see? The folks who understand their use cases and have a very specific goal in mind are successful. The folks who are doing it because they need it and let the vendors kind of drive what they're getting are having a much harder time both with implementation and adoption, right? Which is the name of the game at the end of the day.
Liz, so many good points, and I think too many people think AI is just the magic button.
I
And to
wish.
your point, if you don't have your processes down, if you don't
Yeah,
understand your workflows, if you don't understand your data and your data structures, then in some ways, all AI is going to do is accelerate that failure.
100%. You can hire the best employee. And if you give them no training and you don't talk to them at all and you don't have the plan for them, they are not going to be successful in your organization. It's the same with all technology and especially AI. You have to be able to have a plan for it.
Talk to me. What upcoming conferences do you have? Will you be on the road? Will you get out of that cold, snowy weather in Chicago?
Absolutely, absolutely. My first official conference is going to be the Michigan Mortgage Lender Association Sales Conference. Me and a few of my Rethink friends will
Awesome.
be
And you see
there
that
doing.
back on my shelf over there? Your book
I
is up
love
there.
it. I love it. I love it. So definitely catch me there. And then next, I will be at the ICE experience, visiting all of my friends there. So you can definitely catch me out and about. And then for those folks who are local in Chicago, we have some new Rethink friends locally who are writing Rethink Everything You Know About Craft Beer. And so there's a few events locally in Chicago where we will be networking with our Rethink friends. So if you are out and about, catch me on LinkedIn, and you'll be able to find those dates as well too.
Liz, you have a wealth of knowledge and expertise. I'm so glad you were finally able to join me. I can't wait to see you at some. I won't be at the Michigan, I don't think, because I'm traveling at another conference, but I will definitely be at ICE. Let's make it a point to get together at ICE. But I can't thank you enough for being a guest on this episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast.
Thanks, Michael.